You know where we at. Back to it. So we get a wedding today, a little later, but it is 7:28. So we're getting a little workout in before, a little arm day, sauna, dry out the face a little bit for some of these pictures. I'm in the wedding and I'm a groomsman, so there are some responsibilities. So we'll be going there probably 11:30 down to Central Jersey, I guess. But we're getting an arm day in first. Something to fill the sleeves of a tuxedo shirt. All right, I'm starting with close grip bench. So my plan is to do 2 movements for my triceps, 2 for my biceps. So I'm gonna do a compound movement for each, and then kind of like an accessory movement for each to finish it off a little bit. So close grip bench, the way I warm up for compound movements is I'll do some heavy sets of just 2 to 3 to begin with, or I should say I'm doing sets of 2 to 3 until I find something heavy, and then I'm gonna stick with something heavy for probably two reps, kind of warm up my CNS, and then I'll drop the weight down to what I'm doing for my working set. So close grip bench. Actually been dealing with some elbow tendonitis, so I'm not entirely sure how this is gonna feel, but usually it feels pretty good. It's one of my favorite tricep exercises, especially for adding size and density to the arm. I think really loading up heavy weight is a great way to grow your triceps. I'm gonna go 2 by 10 and then 2 by 8 on my compound movements. So I'm thinking just a barbell curl for my biceps and then close grip bench for my triceps. So I'll go 2 by 10, 2 by 8 for both of those. That's 4 total sets. And then I'll probably do 4 by 12 for whatever I pick for the assistance exercises. That's kind of just gonna be getting like more of a pump. But we have first set of close grip bench going down. Honestly, I can feel my tricep a little bit, which is a pain in the ass. Hopefully, I'm not gonna push it too far, so we'll see. If it really hurts, I'll probably shut it down and do something else, but we'll see. Definitely not my best, but it's all right. So when I go for this, I like to have my middle finger where this groove starts. So it's a close grip. I'm coming down, kind of pinning my elbows tight to my body. I want to put all the tension on my triceps, and then I'm pressing back up, squeezing my triceps. Definitely not the most weight I've done for this, but I've been doing push-pull legs, and my triceps are usually done at the end of those push workouts. And by that point, I'm not really doing any compound movements for my triceps, just because I'm kind of gassed. So it's been mostly assistance exercises. It'd be good to get back into this. All right, so we'll move on to this easy bar curl. There's only one squat rack in here, so I don't really want to curl in the only squat rack, just in case someone else comes in. So we're gonna do an easy bar curl. We'll do a little bit of a cheat. I'm actually okay with it, as long as it's under control. It'll allow me to get a little more weight. Again, it's gotta be under control, but for a compound, kind of in the beginning, I'm all right with it. So we got easy bar cheat curl. Again, 2 by 10, 2 by 8. See if I got the hundreds for 8. I might have to put an arm day back in because my arms are definitely weaker than they have been in the past. The most I've close grip benched was like 275. The most I've curled for a set of 6, definitely 135. It's humbling. So you can see how I kind of use my body position to help me out towards the end there. So I'll lean forward a little bit, and then as I rock back and come up with the weight, I'm coming upright. And ideally, I'm not overarching, so it just ends up being kind of a standing curl. I think it might be like a little more advanced because you have to really have a feel for it, but definitely be an added benefit. And then I finished triceps with this kneeling kind of overhead cable skull crusher. So it's not a true overhead tricep extension, but it's kind of mimicking that skull crusher movement pattern. I like this a lot because it takes my shoulder out of it. Sometimes I feel like when I'm standing and doing tricep extensions or tricep pushdowns, I'm shouldering into it and I'm cheating a little bit. So this is just a great way for me to isolate the tricep a little bit more. 4x12 here. And then last movement for my biceps, I did this spider curl with a neutral grip. And I like this a lot. Again, more isolation for the muscle that I'm trying to target. So it's taking away the shoulder swing that you probably saw as I was doing those cheat curls. So we went from that to now doing complete isolation. I think this is a great exercise for that peak of your bicep, that ball when you actually flex. So working a little bit of brachialis here, working a little bit of forearm as well, but this is a great isolation, trying to get a squeeze at the top. 4x12 here as well. All right, so we're in the sauna. Probably hit 30 minutes in here. Just chilling. Again, trying to dry out the face a little bit. So this is actually a sauna hat. It's supposed to regulate the temperature of your head, be protective against hair loss. Does it work? I have no idea. But I do know if I ever have to be on that plane to Turkey, I will be there, not losing my hair. So for $10 or $15 of what it was on Amazon, pretty worth it in my opinion. Will this 30-minute dry out actually work? Yes and no. So I did 50 minutes yesterday. 50. And I lost 4 pounds. Again, it's just water, I know that, I'm not an idiot. So you gain it back the moment you start drinking liquids again. I'm probably gonna do 30 minutes now and then just not chug a bunch of water. I'll sip as I need. Hopefully that'll keep my face a little thinner for some of these pictures. Somewhat thin right now. So I knew I was gonna have this wedding. So for the past 2 weeks, I cut the calories down a little bit. Honestly, a considerable amount. I was pretty hungry the past 3 days. Just being in a deficit again for 2 weeks. I was only eating like 2,500, 2,700 calories, which for me at 227 is not a lot at all. So this morning I weighed in at 222.6, I think. So there's been a considerable weight drop these past 2 weeks, but I knew I was going to the wedding, so I wanted to thin out a little bit with the time that I had. And I also want to be able to enjoy myself at the wedding and just kind of eat freely. So I'll feel better about it knowing that these past 2 weeks I was pretty strict on what I was eating. And then whatever damage I do tonight won't be as bad in my mind. So I'm just gonna read here a little bit, 30 minutes, but physique is not bad. I definitely feel weaker since cutting my calories, which always screws up my mental, but I knew there was a purpose to it, so I didn't think about it too much. 220 plus, this might be the leanest I've been, might be. So I feel pretty good at this weight right now. Done and dusted, 40 minutes. Whoa! Fouls. Handsome as ever, jacked as ever. Boys are ready. Oh yeah. How'd you feel about his
William?
voice?
Romance is my middle name.
Yeah, baby.
What's that?
Insane. I don't know if that's first.
Okay, and that's cheesecake?